Good evening and welcome to Jackal Garage. I'm your host, Mike. Normally Jeff's with me, but he had some family stuff going on. He couldn't join us. So you have this lovely mustache to enjoy this evening. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and start messing around with what I've got on the table. I'm going to blind everybody there real fast. Boom. So anyways, what have I been working on lately? Not a whole lot. I've been busy with a lot of other projects, but I have been slowly chipping away at David's car. And this is an Erikenstein that I built for him. We did kind of a custom a build. He printed some 3D. He 3D printed the wheels for it. David's been messing around with 3D printers and learning how to use it. So he gave me some wheels. So I told him I'd build him a car. So kind of a tip for that kind of situation. So so far I've got the missile rockets on here. We built a custom hood scoop for it. But during the week, I kind of washed it just to kind of give it some depth. And then today, I'm just going to go ahead and dry brush it a little bit. Going back over it with the purple that I had used on it, which is a Pro Acryl color. Whoops, wrong one. Was it this purple? Thought it was a darker purple. I hate it when I lose my paint colors. Well, I don't think this is the color at all. Oh, there it is, dark purple. It was right behind everything. So we're just going to go ahead and dry brush this up, get some of the edges brought up, and kind of see how everything goes. Put a couple drops of paint out. Get my big wide flat brush and go to town. Again, I'm just going to try to get the edges and just slightly clean up everything on this after doing the washes. I don't expect it to be a huge difference, but we're just going to kind of clean some stuff up. And just get some stuff to pop a little bit. And that should be all she wrote. I didn't want to do a grungy, rusty kind of a build on this car. I'm kind of going for more of a cleaner, sleeker look. I want it to look kind of dirty. I don't want it to be pristine. But I just wanted to just give it a pretty decent look. And with those red rocket tips showing off there, I really think it's going to pop once it's all put together. I think I might use just a little bit of a lighter purple mixed in there, just to kind of lighten it up just a little bit so I can hit those edges. Something had gotten onto this car somehow. Must have been the wash. So there's these little white in the corners and stuff. There's some little white speckles or just dots. Like the wash dried in the corner just a little too much. You can actually see it on the roof too. So, well, we'll fix it. That's what we do. And if the top's a little bit brighter, that's okay. It will look just fine when it's all done. Just going to add a little bit of a lighter purple in with the darker purple. Just going to give me kind of a blueberry-ish color. I'm going to take a majority of it off. And we're just going to do a light dry brushing on the edges. And that should make it pop. Oh, or drop it, whichever. I think I'm good. All right, so I'm going to clean off my paintbrush, get this off my table. A couple other things I'm going to do is I want to run another coat of black across the hood scoop. Coal black. Just to kind of clean it up a little bit. We're going to pull out a few more little details. I'm going to dry brush the green a little bit. And just kind of get I just got to get this purple out of my paintbrush. Just want to freshen up that paint on there. It got scratched a few times and things like that. Get my soap out. Just clean off that purple. I just got to get that purple out of that paintbrush because otherwise it will cause problems down the line. All right, so next, as I said, when I washed it, the wash created a little bit of a weird, I don't know, drying or something went wrong with the wash and put like a white residue or white finish on some of the spots with the black. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean those up. Once those are cleaned up, this car is actually going to have the window in it, so this is not going to be windowless. I'm not going to do the screens or anything on it. Then I want to hit the front. So what I did is I did the front headlights. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. I hit the front headlights with just contrast paint, but I did a silver over the one right here. So I just want to go ahead and just brighten that up because the wash kind of toned it down a little bit. So just brighten up that little light lens cover a little bit. So this is where we're at with it right now, which, to be honest with you, I think it's looking really nice. We're going to have the glass in it. So, and the glass on these. Hey, Raymond. Yeah, buddy, I'm running solo today. Jeff had some family things pop up. So it's just me kind of putz around painting cars. Paint cars. So just going to try to finish off some projects that have been sitting on my desk for a while. I got all caught up on the Exterminus podcast today, so quite happy to be caught up. So this is the car that will be given to David, hopefully soon. Hopefully I'll run into him so I can get him his car. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lighten up the green on the missile racks. And I just need to find it. So I've got a US dark green. And what I'll end up doing is just mixing some white in there. Oh, you're going to record your episode tonight. Sweet. New episodes being... When do you guys record? Then I'm just going to add some white to lighten this up. And boom. Because you got is it Jim or someone that's also joining you guys, and he's from Canada? So I don't know what the time difference is. And I want to take off the majority of this paint, so it's going to use, yep. So what I'm doing is just a light dry brush on all this stuff. Just want to kind of give it some, pull out some of the edges and the detail, but not really trying to add a lot of color to it. I just want everything to kind of stand out a little bit. Perfect. Just like that. All right. So, oh, helps if I keep stuff on camera. I got my zoom on zoomed in too much there. And my lines aren't straight. There we go. Gotta have straight lines. All right. So that pretty much wraps up this build. There's not much left to do. I do need to find oh, everything's stuck together. I need to find the windshield for this one. And I just have it in one of my mini buckets on my desk, so it's right here. And I need to make a modification to it. So when we built David's vehicle, I built in this little storage box for these extra bombs and stuff. Well, technically the car has this exhaust port, so we need to cut this window we need to cut this plastic off back here so the glass will fit in. Otherwise, the glass isn't going to fit in. So for this particular job, I'm just going to use my hacksaw. Normally, I do have a jeweler's saw that I could use, but the jeweler's saw, believe it or not, is not good for cutting plastic because it's such a thin blade and it heats up the plastic so quickly that it actually kind of melts, and you'll end up just breaking your blades. So here, I'm just going to use the hacksaw. Hopefully, I won't cut a finger off. Voila. And that just cut right through it like a butter. And now we should be able to put the window back in. Nope. I have to cut more of the back of it off. So basically, all of this needs to come off. So, but no big deal. Not an easy thing to grip. There we go. I'm just going to snap it off. Probably would have been easier just to cut it right off. But I want to use my fancy tools. Raymond, are you working on anything before you record, or are you just getting ready for your show? All right. Now that should be perfect. What's really neat about the Erikenstein, it's a car actually. Terminator, sweet. Getting your Necrons all painted up. What's really neat, their Erikenstein just has a lot of cool detail features on it. And one of them is this front windshield. You can kind of see the kind of like rivets holding the window in place. It's just a neat little feature. It's not the most exciting detail. A lot of people miss it, but it's those little features that just make it look cool. That's why it's one of the more popular cars in the Gaslands realm. All right. So that's cut. That's good to go. So we'll hold off on doing anything with the front window because I need to seal the paint. So once I get the paint sealed, then I'll go ahead and put it all together, and then I will get it posted up on the Discord channel for David to see, and then him and I will hook up and I will get it back to him so that he can have it for his collection. But all in all, it's not a bad looking car. I really like, we did the double wheels in the back here. His rims look fantastic. It's kind of dark, kind of a dark purple, but it works. I think it's his daughter's favorite color, so that will go over here. Next on the chopping block is we get back to work on this fancy beast. This is my Erikenstein front end that was a leftover part from another build when I chopped an Erikenstein in half and put a different front end on a Erikenstein. And I just took the front piece and put it on this kind of 6x truck. And what I want to do tonight, this is going to have the screened windows, or the mesh windows. That's the word I was looking for. Because I am not going to do the interior on this. So we're actually going to put the mesh windows in on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my mesh. So this is just an aluminum clay sculpting mesh. We've talked about it before. And I always cut big, and then I'll go back in and I'll thin it all down and get it to fit the size that I need. It's not expensive, and you get a ton of it when you buy a package. So I got plenty to last me. And getting it back in the bag is always a challenge, because the stuff just like sticks to each other, because the little sides kind of are just like little needles, and they catch everything. So I like to put stuff away when I'm done with it. It's just a thing I like to do. So I'm just going to roughly size out the front, and I'll get the front window in first, and then I'll work on the side windows. What's neat about this material is you can always stretch it out to make the squares just a little bit smaller. So that way, if you don't want to do your interior, like this car is not going to have an interior, so I don't want people to be able to see inside of it. So I'm going to kind of squish it all down a little bit so that it looks just a little tighter. So that way people can't see inside. So what we need to do is just kind of size it up. So it looks like I just need to cut this end off a little bit more. Because I don't want, it's not going to be able to, there's not a lot of glue surface on the inside around these pillars that hold it up. So most of the strength to hold this up is going to be on the top and the bottom. So I just need to, this is where you just got to be careful. You just kind of slowly cut away at it. No big rush. When we rush things, we just make mistakes. Yep, I think I'm good. And what's neat about this stuff is it's really pliable. So it makes it a little bit easier to just kind of put into the car and just start manipulating it around. It's going to take a little bit of back and forth, but we should be able to get it in place relatively easy. It's still too wide, because I'm already seeing it where it's all failing on me. So it's no big deal. We just take it out. We can straighten it back out. We'll just cut off another row of it. Leaves all these little aluminum pieces behind. And we try again. Yeah, this is going just a little bit better here. All right, so once you get it kind of where you need it, and then you can just press it down. Check it from the front, because that's what people are going to see. And then I'm just going to add a little dab of glue just to hold down the, this glue is clogged glue. Just get a little bit down first, just to kind of hold it in place. And this is where the what do they call this stuff? Insta set comes in real handy. The stuff like dries super glue quick. And this way I can keep working on it. Now what I want to do is I want to fold in the corners. So that it looks a little bit more squared. And because when I pushed in with my fingers, it obviously got kind of a round look to it. Because it was based, my finger was pushing it in. Dun, dun, dun. And this is just one of those things, it just takes practice. First couple times I did it, it was extremely frustrating just trying to figure it out. But as I've done it more, I've just, most importantly, just developed some patience for it all. All right. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little glue right here on this post. Just to let it set up. And there's your screen mesh. So I'm quite happy with that. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want it to look somewhat, it's the rule of cool. So we want it to look cool. And we just want it to look like it's not too makeshift. But yeah, that's that. So now I got to do the side pieces. So first thing I want to do is make sure all the existing screen is kind of pushed out of the way. I don't want it to get too much in my way. Because this could get complicated here trying to get these side pieces in. Just simply because it's got the angle going. It's just going on that little sidebar. So I actually have to cut this stuff at the same angle of, well, close to the same angle as the car, so that we can slide this in there. So it's going to be a trial and error, a lot of cutting, a lot of back and forth. This is one of those things, measure 15 times, cut once type situations. All right, so what we're going to do is get a little bit of glue just to hold it in place. Once it's held in place, And then we can start manipulating it a little bit better. All right. I kind of let that glue just kind of work its way around over here. And then zap it. That works. Nice little side piece. It's not 100%, but it is close enough for me. Wonder if I've never glued one before, but I'm going to try to glue a couple of the wires back together because when I cut that angle, I didn't quite get it right. So it was a little short. So I'm just going to try to glue those wires back together and just put a glob of glue right there and zap it. There you go. And that looks kind of beat up too. Kind of like the people just kind of shoved it in there and made it work. That's kind of all we're trying to create here. This is kind of a post-apocalyptic world we're in here. I mean, I don't know if you're still with me or not, but are you going to the Las Vegas Open in January 2022? I don't know if you were there last time I was there. I know Eric was there. I saw him. Maybe. All right. Well, if you do, maybe we can hook up and I'll teach you how to play Gaslands or something. But if you're playing in the tournament, you'll probably be wiped out after the tournaments to be playing other games. And I'm sure you're going to be up there just like I'm going to be up there with my significant other. And I am required to do things with her at night, which makes sense. Never actually been to LVO. Really? Well, we should get you to go, man. I'm actually going to I'm trying to get my class stuff all set up so I can teach all about building these cars. It's a different event, I'll say that much. It's I've been to LVO and I've also been to Adepticon. And Adepticon has a different vibe than LVO. And primarily because at Adepticon, we are literally trapped at the hotel. So there's not a whole, you can get a car and you can go out and do stuff. But for the most part, you're kind of stuck. So there's always cliques and groups of people that are hanging out at night. There's activities, just tons of people playing games till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It's very common to be playing games late. Lots of drinking, which I'm not a drinker. So the challenge with Adepticon though is it's getting harder to get to get a room at the hotel. You're pretty much staying off site, which can be kind of a bummer. Staying off site because You want to be at the hotel till you want to be down just hanging out with people till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I don't want to have to walk back to a hotel after that, but it is what it is. LVO, the vibe there though is at night. A lot of the gamers, a lot of the players and people that are there have their significant others because it's Vegas, and nighttime is pretty much spent doing things with your significant other. There's not like they literally close the hall down, and we're done. Like at a certain time, everyone's kicked out. There's no more gaming. There's no one hanging around. You're just done, and I don't know. That to me, yeah, it's just not the vibe I'm into. But it's Vegas. It's a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's not an expensive event, so trying to make it an annual thing to go. But hopefully we can get you out there, Raymond. Hey, Adam, how are you, buddy? We're just chit-chatting. Since I've got a few of you here, we've been talking about Las Vegas Open. Let me ask you guys to do me a favor. It seems like I know Raymond's with us, Adam's with us. There's a couple other people watching, but I haven't heard them chime in yet. I've spent this week getting my presentation or my classroom stuff set up for. Chances are if I go, it'll be to check it out the first year, maybe try to record some interviews. Hey, that'd be awesome, Raymond. If you want to hang out with me, I'll be more than happy to hang out with you. During the day, if I'm not I don't do any of the tournaments or anything like that. I just hang out. But I'm going to be teaching in class. So this is what I put together for my classroom kind of description. So they sent me this huge template for the Las Vegas Open. I changed the name. So what do you guys think of the name? It's Gaslands, how to build vehicles. I just wanted to keep it simple. I don't want to get too creative. I don't want people to be misled and think it's about something else. So that's what we're calling it. Pretty simple class, but here's my description of the class. So it's welcome to Gaslands, how to build vehicles at the Las Vegas Open 2022. Gaslands is a vehicle combat game set in a post-apocalyptic world. The game is designed to use 1/64 scale die-cast cars. There are many different manufacturers of these cars, but most commonly used are Hot Wheels and Matchbox. With such a wide variety of cars to choose from, players can get very creative. The excitement of Gaslands is building a unique model that shows off your talents as a designer, builder, and painter. This 2-hour class will be broken down into 2 parts. The first part will be a lecture about the tools and supplies used for building vehicles. We will also cover basic builds for beginners as well as advanced conversions. The second part of the class will be to get our hands dirty and build a custom model. You'll be provided a die-cast car and weapons that you can use to create your own road warrior. Just a word of caution, we will be converting the vehicles using sharp tools. If you're not comfortable using these tools, help will be provided. Come join the vehicular mayhem. And then I put Imperial Outpost Games as a sponsor. Obviously, my name is the instructor, and then a link to what's new with Mike and Jeff. So that is my description of what is going on. Adam, I've never been to LVO. Well, Adam, if you want to go to LVO, it's coming up in January, buddy. Tickets go on sale in, I believe it's June. And it's like I said, I was talking to Raymond. It's a cool vibe during the day. There's a lot of activity, lots of stuff going on, but at night it kind of everyone vacates and goes their own ways because people are usually going to do things with their significant others. So it's always good to have someone to go with you. But what do you guys think of my classroom description? That's kind of what I'm submitting. I'm going to submit to the organizer. And do you guys think it's something that grabs people's attention? Like, does it tell them exactly what they're going to get? What do you guys think? You guys are the community that helped me, so that's what I'm looking at. And then there is a screen mesh on this guy. I like your class info. I'd take the class. Well, all right, Adam. I will teach you the class. I haven't decided what I'm probably going to have a variety of different cars for people to choose from, but obviously the Erikenstein is going to be one for people. I'll also do the Big Air Bel Air and the Bone Shaker and probably the El Camino. So I'll give people like a variety of cars to choose from. Seems well described. All right. Well, thanks, you guys. I just didn't want anybody to be misled, and I kind of toyed around with some different things, and I wanted to have a little fun with it, but I don't want it to be corny. I just wanted to, here's what it is, sign up for it, because I believe they charge anywhere from $40 to $50 a class, and I want to make sure that people leave with something. So that's why I'll do my typical, I'll strip the cars down, I will screw and tap them together so that they can just kind of glue on some weapons and be done with it. That way we're not gluing the cars back together and all that kind of stuff. I want to make it as simple for them as possible. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to do it. I'll also see about maybe teaching at the Mesa Convention Center. Raymond, you guys are doing Scorched Earth there, correct? I believe I heard that's what you guys were talking about. I'm one of the show. I had to get caught up on all your shows this week. I believe that's what you guys were talking about. Scorched Earth is going to be at the Mesa Convention Center, and maybe I'll teach over there as well. Yeah, it's nice that they're going to start hosting more miniature games, because you got 40K and Age of Sigmar. And I believe there's a Bolt Action or a Flames of War event also taking place. I forget which. So, all right. So the screens are done on this car. So what we're going to do next to this car, I'm probably not going to do it tonight because I just want to let everything dry, is I don't know if you all remember when I chopped up the engine and I took out the just wanted the pipes off it. I ended up cutting these stacks off of the top of the engine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up these stacks. I'm actually going to use these as gun barrels, and I'm going to put a plate across the front here, and I'm just going to put these in the front. I'm just going to have these 8 gun barrels basically sticking out the front of this vehicle, and that's going to be my weapons. So, big beefy burly truck with all these guns sticking out the front, and that's what we're going to make it. So I'm kind of excited about that. So what we're going to have to do is come up with a piece of plastic card to fit, because I don't have an engine in this one, so I need to cover all that up anyways. So it'll be easiest just to get a piece of plastic card and get that inside of there. And let me see what I've got available real fast. Did I lose those things? Oh no. Oh, they're there. Whew. Itty bitty parts. I don't want to lose them. Eric, or Raymond, I'm sorry. Have you ever been to the Mesa Convention Center for a convention? Or Adam, either one of you ever go to the Arizona Game Fair? I've gone once, and it was a good time. But when I went, it was primarily board games, RPG games, which at the time I was more heavily just into miniature games. I just recently started getting into role-playing games again. But I'm into more solo RPGs, not so much playing with other people. I have not been to Mesa Convention. Nope. Well, I would definitely. It's in March. Around March 22nd. So, Adam, if you have not been to, well, first of all, Mesa Convention Center is a nice location. But if you're just want to spend a day there, it's just a nice little convention to just go hang out. Obviously, Raymond's going to be there this year, or next year, I should say, because he needs to run a tournament or playing in a tournament, one or the other. And it's a neat place. It's big, lots of room, so hopefully they can truly accommodate a bunch of people for miniature gaming. And I'm just more supportive of it because I think it would be nice for our community to have more miniature gaming going on at the convention center or at the Arizona Game Fair. Just so that we can get more people playing. I know last year I was actually supposed to teach Gaslands building again, but that's when it was canceled due to the whole COVID situation. All right. So we're slowly just, again, whenever I'm doing these conversions and I'm creating these custom parts, I'd rather just take my time and make 100 little cuts just so I can try to make sure I get it right. Nothing worse than when you're trying to convert something and you cut it too much and then you got to start all over. And this is just real thin plastic card. This is almost paper thin, like a cardstock thickness. Well, hopefully, Adam, we can get you to go out to the Mesa Convention Center. That would be nice. Get you to. Don't know if they're going to be doing any. Haven't heard if they're doing any War Machine stuff. I know I don't know if you're playing a lot of War Machines or if you're just painting War Machine right now. I know at the Las Vegas Open, there's usually it's the big grand tournament for War Machine. So definitely should, think about it. A lot of locals go up there. I am willing to go. There you go. That's the spirit. I think you would enjoy it. It's pretty mellow, pretty relaxed. There's a lot of the local gaming stores will be up there. I don't know if Darren goes up there simply because it's Mesa. He might go up there to. I don't think I've ever seen him though. I know he usually does the Comic-Con, but we won't have Comic-Con until 2022, and that'll probably be May. And yeah, that's about it. All right, so I just basically chopped this up. This car has a lot of unique designs. So what we're going to end up doing with this is gluing it in, and then I'm going to use my trusty Arm & Hammer baking soda, and we're gonna backfill it to secure it in nicer once we get it glued in place. But yeah, Phoenix, the Arizona Game Fair, that's probably a one-dayer. Like, some people go for the whole weekend, and I think those are more the people playing in more of the RPGs and doing other things that are up, some of the more evening activities. For me, it's just a one-day event. I'll go up there for the day. If I'm teaching, I'll teach. But outside of that, when I go for a casual, just going, it's just one day, and it's fun. Get to see a lot of the people I don't normally get to see on a regular basis. So that's always fun. Seeing old friends. All right. So now what we're going to do is this is just regular old baking soda. And I want to just give that plastic something more to adhere to. So I'm just going to backfill this with baking soda. And this baking soda will dry up this CA glue real fast, and it will crystallize and it will harden, and it will be a good surface just to kind of hold that piece of plastic in just a little bit better than just gluing it to the contact surface. I know I said I was going to do this later, but the mood hit me, so. So there it is. So now that Arm & Hammer baking soda, it's all crystallized in there, and it's just going to hold that in place better. And I'm not going to do it up front, but I think I got some. Ooh, when I blew on that, I got some baking soda in my mouth. That was tasty. So some of the glue seeped through the back here. So yeah, that's kind of what happens here. Let me zoom in on that for you guys. You can see how all that baking soda kind of crystallized right here. It's just giving this more support. So it's just a little bit stronger than just kind of having it glued to the surface. Before I cut this, though, I do need to let it all dry because there's a lot of super glue that leaked through right up here. So, but you guys, I think that's all I got for tonight. We finished David's car. So this is David's car. It needs to be clear coated, and then I just got to assemble it back together. But I think David's going to be pleased with his car. I'll get a picture of this up on Discord for everybody. This car, we will keep working on it, but next is to get the guns glued in place. Once the guns are glued in place, it'll just be time to paint it. I need to get, ooh, hey, that fell apart. I need to finish this project. I started this project a while ago, and I had a vision for painting a certain way on this, and then that vision has drifted away from me. So I think I'm just going to paint it a solid color and go from there. And then I've also started working on my Star Wars land speeder. On this, I'm going to mount these jet engines on the bottom of this just to give it more of a look. And then I'm going to turn these three, which should be the engines, into guns. So this will have 3 different guns on it. And then I'm probably going to armor plate this window. And I'm just going to make kind of my own little converted land speeder. Would it be post Star Wars elliptic? I don't know. Kind of post Star Wars, if Darth Vader would have won. Kind of a car. And just have a little bit of fun with that. So let me switch cameras here. And well, that's pretty much it for tonight. We got a lot of that stuff done. The big thing is I'm really thankful that you guys helped me out with the write-up I'm doing for my class at the Las Vegas Open, because I just wanted something, just wanted to grab people's attention real quick, let them know what the class is going to be about, and see if that's enough to make them feel inclined to spend the money to attend. I think I'm gonna. They haven't told me yet where they're going to let me host at. So when I initially talked to them, because they're at a new venue this year, it's not going to be at the Bally's Hotel and Casino. It's going to be at a new venue. And off the top of my head, I forget the venue's name. So I'm either going to be teaching on the floor or I'm going to teach in the classroom. They don't know yet. If I'm teaching on the floor, it's going to be a small classroom setting because I've got to talk over everybody else that's going to be on the floor. So I need to talk loud. So I'll probably keep it a small. It'll be like 10 people. If it's going to be a classroom, it's probably going to be like 20 people. So we'll see. It's all going to depend on how many people sign up for it. I do know last time I was at the Las Vegas Open, there were companies there selling stuff for Gaslands. I found a cool laser engraved box with Gaslands logo on it and templates and all kinds of cool stuff. I think that's where I got my Gaslands t-shirt, was at the last LVO. I got a Gaslands t-shirt, which was super cool, and I liked it a lot. And the guy that does the t-shirt said he was going to have new designs, and then it got canceled. So hopefully he'll be at the next Las Vegas Open. So outside of that, thank you all very much. Thanks for hanging out with me. It was a short show, but got a lot done. So it just goes to show, if you just spend about an hour a night working on stuff, you'll make progress. It's, I didn't get a whole car done, but it's, slow progress, and you just, you get a little project done here, a little project done there, and next thing you know, you got the whole thing done, and life is good. So anyways, you guys, thank you very much for hanging. We will be back Wednesday night for the Wolf Stand, and then Saturday morning, as usual, What's New with Mike and Jeff, and then repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So anyways, thank you all very much. Y'all have a great week, and I'll see you Wednesday night. Bye.